Hey guys, Michelle from Michelle's Craft Corner, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the brand new Stamparatus from Stampin' Up. This awesome new stamp positioning tool is amazing, so we're going to be talking about the features of this and some handy hints to make it even better. Let's get started. So here's a close-up of that Stamparatus. It'll come with a handy instructional book that will talk about kind of the step-by-step stuff that I'm going to be covering, but you'll have that as a reference. It also comes in a very handy box, which I've seen quite a few people already decorate for storage, but honestly, if you're like me and fall in love with it as much as I have, it's not going to sit in the box very much. It's going to be on your desk and you're going to be using it. Now, if you're familiar with other stamp positioning tools, then you might already have a similar apparatus, but let me tell you why this one is so much better and why you're going to want to get this one as well. So first off, it has not one plate, let me get this in the shot here, not one plate, but two. So not only do you have two surfaces, you technically have 4 different surfaces that you can stamp from. Now these plates are removable. They just pop straight up and straight down, so you can flip it and stick a stamp and stamp on the other side, which is so awesome. It has these handy, I don't know if you can see, grids on here if you want to use that to line it up. Totally washable, which is nice. Now these are designed for both clear stamps and photopolymer. So for the photopolymer, it has this awesome little foam mat that comes in, so totally removable. And then for your clear, you don't really need the mat. You can stamp with it, but you don't need it, but it has this awesome grid underneath. So cool. The other thing is it's very compact. So you can see right here, the grid is only like a 7x7. So it's really small, very easy to transport and go anywhere. The other awesome feature of this, let me flip it over, is it comes with 2 magnets and little spots to store them in. Now these are rare earth magnets, which means they are super duper strong. Several demonstrators have different tips on things you can do with them, and one is to wrap it with duct tape. Let me flip this around here. So that kind of gives it just this little extra lip that you can pick it up and put it back down. So when placing your paper on it and kind of using that to kind of make sure it doesn't slide, it gives you just a little bit of a tab to pull up. Some people have recommended using washi tape. Now, I personally don't recommend using just washi tape because washi tape is designed to be easily tearable and repositionable. That means a lot of wear and tear, a lot of pulling and use, and it's going to rip. So that's why I have the duct tape on here, and I just did a little decorative washi tape just to make it pretty. My other handy tip, which I discovered as I was wrapping this, is I would cut your piece of duct tape and then wrap it instead of wrapping it around and then trying to cut it right here. Because the magnet is so strong, my scissors kept wanting to get stuck to the magnet. So, handy tip there, cut the tape and then wrap. But honestly, it comes with 2 magnets, but I have only really used the one. Most stamping surfaces are not that big, and so you can generally get away with just one in the corner or on the side. The other big thing is because these are such strong magnets, it is recommended, exclamation points, all caps, do not let your 2 magnets touch. These are super strong, and you can look at a couple different blogs. Some people have already broken theirs. As of this video, we don't currently have replacement magnets. Hopefully that will be something that we'll carry in the future. So if you have it duct taped, it's less likely to shatter. But also just keep in mind that those are super strong. So no playing with the magnets together or anything like that. But as I said, you generally only need to use one for most projects. All right. Let me put that off to the side. So if that has not sold you on how awesome this is. Hopefully doing some quick stamping will. Now there's a couple different hacks that I've seen different demonstrators use to make their Stamparatus even better. One is taking a sheet of grid paper. Now this is just cut. Now it's a little bit shorter than the 7 inches just because of that margin there. But this, if you're stamping with the foam, just to kind of keep your foam from getting messy, honestly, given the height of your stamp, you probably aren't going to get any ink on it, but it's just kind of nice to have the grid. The other thing to keep in mind when stamping is you don't want to place your stamp right at the edge of the hinge. Now, why would I not want to stick it right on the edge of the hinge? It's because when you fold it, you need to be able to apply pressure to it so that the ink transfers. If it's right against the hinge, you can't really apply pressure. So that's why it's best to stick the stamp somewhere a little over. Now, because it's a little over, sometimes it can be hard to reposition and reline up if you're doing multiples. So another handy tip that some demonstrators suggested is doing just a small little guideline. Now this is just 2 strips, 1 inch, that I glued together from some scrap. So just at a right angle and slid in there. Now with that as a guide, if you're stamping multiples, then you know it's going right there every time. So, and that also keeps it from that too close to the edge issue. All right, so the other thing, looking at all my notes, is I absolutely love this for bulk stamping. And I'm going to show you how super easy it is by doing a quick card. I know this video is probably a little faster and shorter, so I absolutely love using the Whisper White or Very Vanilla note cards and envelopes with this because it comes in a stack of 20. They're already pre-scored, they've got the envelopes, it's all ready to go. And I have found, move that out of the way, a handy tip is you can actually stack multiples. Now I haven't really gone more than 3 or 4 at a time, just for height. So whether you're doing these or you're doing just cut out centers or something, you can stack multiples. And let me show you what I mean. So I have a stack here. This has got 1, 2, all right, we'll do 3. Make sure they're all the same way. Okay. Stack those all nice and neat and stick it right there. Grab my magnet and hold it down. So as I'm stamping, instead of having to reposition each one, I'm just going to slide it out and have the other one ready to go. So I'll show you what I mean. So let's stamp a quick card, and you can really see just how awesome this is. This is the quick card I'm going to stamp for you using the Dragonfly Dreams stamp set right here. So just a really simple card. So we're going to start here with our Dragonfly. Now for this, you want to lay the stamp right onto the paper where you want it to be positioned, just like that. Actually, let me scoot them over just a little bit. There we go. Just like that. And then we're going to take our plate, fold it over, and press and pick it up. Now, handy tip to know, for the photopolymer, if it's a first time use of a photopolymer stamp, it is going to be a little extra sticky. So you may want to ink and stamp off on something first, or use some Versamark just to kind of take some of that residue, that kind of initial stickiness off. So colors I'm using are the Lemon Lime Twist and the Tranquil Tide from the In Colors. So I'm going to start with my Tranquil Tide and just add ink pad straight to the stamp. Just like that. Now if you are like me and can be a bit of a messy stamper, so like this, I find it really helpful to have a paper towel or baby wipe handy, because if you're doing a bunch, you might get a little ink on here. Now you can pop these out and rinse them, soap and water under the sink, really easy. But if you're doing a bunch at once, you may not want to stop to do that. So this is just very handy to have that. And we're going to go ahead and fold that over. And I'm just going to give it a light press. Okay, now look there. Because I gave it a light press, it did not thoroughly ink. But since we know it's positioned perfectly, I don't have to worry. I'm just going to go over it again, same spot, give it a little bit more of a press, which I should have done the first time, and straight up. Oh, look, we missed a tiny spot right there. Add a little more ink, and boom. Actually, I may need to smooth my magnet over a little bit, but ta-da! So even if you mess up, you don't have to worry. You can just re-ink and go again. So super, super awesome. All right, so this and several other of our stamps have multi-layers. Now this is just a 2-layer. It's got the wings here, and you could have done the wings first if you wanted, and then the detail. So we're going to lay this one on top, right where we want it to go. And it is a little inky because I didn't clean it from my example. All right, fold over, pick it up, and then we're going to ink it up with the lemon lime twist. Ta-da! So awesome. Actually, I'm going to do a little bit harder right in that one spot. Now you can see, so quick and easy. Now let's say you want to mix up your stamps. So you want to do both clear and photopolymer for the same card, which depending on your design is something you can totally do. Now one thing I will recommend, and I don't know if I can show this on camera, we'll see if it'll show up. So because the height of the photopolymer and clear is different, see if you can see that on there, the photopolymer is a little thinner than the clear. You don't want to put them on the same stamping pad, okay? You want to do them on different pads, or as in this case, flip it and do the back side. Keep in mind we have 4 surfaces to work from. And that just makes sure that you have a good clean stamp. Now this is still a little juicy from earlier, so hopefully I won't smudge it here. So stick it and press. Yeah, see, it's still got a little ink on it. I'm just going to add a little bit of that Tranquil Tide and give it a little press. Now it's a little snug just because of that foam mat, but you can see, really awesome. And let's say I want to do another one. I've got my stack. I'm just going to slide this top one out. Look, my other ones are all ready to go. I can stick this one off to the side and do it again. So we're just going to do another one really quick. So check out how fast this goes. Actually, we'll do this one first. Just a little spot right there. There we go. And just like that, we have another one exactly the same, perfect placement, ready to go. So you can see how quick and easy this thing is to use. It is amazing. So absolutely, absolutely highly recommend getting a Stamparatus. Now, these will be available in the June catalog. So as of this video, it's not quite available yet, but it is coming very, very soon. And it is absolutely awesome. Last tip I have for you guys is, besides just quick clean off, the other thing is storing. So a lot of people may be tempted to fold one plate over and then fold the other one on top, even with the stamp on it. There we go. Okay. It's designed not to do that. So if you see this here off the side, because of that thickness of that plate, you won't be able to fold it all the way, and actually you can break this. So for storing, it is recommended that one of the plates pop out and sit on top, just like that. Oh, well, like that. Okay, so don't fold the two together when you're storing them. But other than that, it is a really awesome, awesome tool. I highly recommend. I know you guys are going to love it and want to get your hands on one as well. So for a direct link to my store as soon as it is available, do check the comments below. And I do plan to have a couple other Stamparatus videos coming at you soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.